All right. Here we are. Think and Grow Wealth. We've got Ryan Nickel today, and this guy's, in my opinion, is probably one of the smartest people I've ever had on the show, believe it or not. It's funny because, these businesses, they come in week over week, and, I sit down and I start picking apart their business, not to beat them up, but, I want to help them and grow. I want to help them improve. And I sit down with this gentleman here, and his business is just so dialed that there's really not much I can do other than, just kind of, I can do this for you if you need to, you're just dialed, you're good. So you're a 2-time best-selling author. Your focus is helping people who are essentially losing their homes or upside down in their homes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your business.
Yeah, so we invest in properties. I want to say we as my wife and I, we buy for our retirement portfolio. And what we look to do is we look to buy properties that people just can't sell. They're upside down, or there's not enough equity for them to hire a real estate agent without having to cut a check. And they don't want to do a short sale because it's going to affect their credit.
Of course.
And so
they definitely don't want a foreclosure because they won't buy a home for 3 years.
That's the worst point, yeah. And so what we do is we basically just step in, give them some moving money, and then take over the payments of their property. And that way, if they were behind, we'll catch things up. It helps their credit in the long run. And we pick up a property for very, very little down. We save a family from having a foreclosure, and it's a win-win situation.
Now, how do you go about finding these homes?
Yeah, that's the trick, right? So there are various ways we find them. Sometimes they're inherited properties that fall behind. Mother and father die, and they're inherited, and the kids can't afford to keep it. So we pick them up that way. Just driving around looking for distressed properties. Of course, these are called pre-foreclosure properties, and so there's a list that's published. We find it that way. Word of mouth a lot of times, or just a real estate agent will get a call from someone that's desperate, needs to sell, and there's not enough equity for them to hire the agent, and the agent will refer to us as well.
Now, what are some of the strategies that you use to help these people? Explain to me what a subject to is.
Yeah, so that's the way that we buy the property. So subject to is we are buying the property subject to the existing debt. In other words, when you buy a property traditionally, you're paying off that mortgage and you're reestablishing it with a new mortgage, the one that you took out to fund that property. We don't do that. We just buy the property. Basically, the property is deeded over to us, and we keep that debt in play, and then we just move forward making those payments on behalf of that person.
Now, do you go through and that person moves out of the home, right?
They do.
Do you go through and renovate that house then and increase the value of it and then turn around and sell it at a profit?
Some houses we do that. A lot of the houses, and you can imagine, they're in disrepair. People are losing their homes. They're not happy. Maybe it's a family that's going through a divorce, and so there's some holes in the walls, holes in the doors. Different things have happened to the property. So yeah, we do go in and fix it up, and then we do sell the property, but we don't sell it in the traditional way. We keep the property in our portfolio. And what we'll do is we'll do a rent-to-own for it with a new family. So someone who traditionally can't afford to get or can't qualify for a loan, they are our ideal customer. And they come to us, and we have a list so long. I wish we had more inventory, honestly. I wish I had more property because we have close to almost about, I think we're pushing about 1,200 families that are looking for houses that are not able to qualify the traditional way, but they do have good income. They do have money for a down payment, and they are just looking for an opportunity to have a house that they can call their home.
That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. It's like I'm speechless. It's funny because I've never looked at it that way. I've never thought of it as a subject to buy and hold. I've never conceived that.
Well, when I got started, I was broke. So I lost my job. I lived in Tahoe, and I lost my job, and I had to eventually leave my family. I had to go to Georgia to learn how to do this real estate stuff. And I kissed my wife and kids goodbye, drove cross country, and I slept on the back of this guy's floor trying to figure out how to be an investor in real estate. And at this time, we were on food stamps, and we were struggling, and we just couldn't figure things out. So it's
so funny because you just mentioned, you work at Taco Bell? No, I did a long time ago, but it's just we have to remember those things.
We do, yeah. And that was the challenging part for me was like, how, I had people tell me like, how dare you go out and try to buy real estate? You're broke yourself. You can't even support your own family.
It's so funny, isn't it?
It is. And I had to become really, really creative. And the way to become creative was, well, I have no money, so I'm going to go buy a house from someone who's already behind, and I'm going to advertise it to someone who has the money to bring it current.
OPM.
That's
exactly what's the same thing that we do with radio. It's exactly how I built this business.
It's brilliant.
And the business, I mean, you look around. We're not hurting.
Yeah.
I have a coat of arms. and a meteorite. You know, I mean, you get to the point where you no longer need pants and shoes and stuff. You just start buying stupid stuff.
Right.
Right. No, it's funny because when I worked at Taco Bell, you know, I came into work one morning and told one of the guys, I'm like, yeah, I went and test drove a new Porsche over the weekend. And they're like, you don't have any money. Why would you do that? I'm thinking to myself, like,
why not?
How long do you think I'm going to be here? You know, 5 years later, here's the thing, 5 years ago, I worked at Taco Bell. 5 years later,
that was me 4 years ago.
Yeah, I'm a national talk show host, making ridiculous money, helping countless people, and those Taco Bell people are still sitting there working at Taco Bell.
That's so true.
It's all the choices that we make. It's just choices.
Yeah.
And none of us are smarter than the other. You're not smarter than me. I'm not smarter than you.
No.
I'm not smarter than Trump. Trump isn't smarter than me. It is what it is. It's the information that we have. Mm-hmm. It's just information.
And how you apply it.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've shared this information with a lot of people. And like, oh, that's cool, but I can't do that. I can't do what you did.
Well, what's crazy is people tell me,
why not?
How do you have time in the day to do what you do? Because I don't focus my energy on stupid stuff. Like, I don't watch TV.
Right. You know, that was actually, I'm glad you mentioned that. That was one thing I noticed is when I came in here, I'm like, wow, this guy has a small television. I appreciate that. You know, big library, small TVs.
I've got books all over the house, though, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, your priorities are set. Yeah. You know, a lot of people will spend time surfing the internet, doing all kinds of stuff that don't affect the bottom line of their business. I
thought it was funny that you say, you know, I'll send you the audio for the book. Wait, you don't think I'm going to sit there and read it? Come on, man! I'm going to lay in the Chesterfield and I'm going to read the book.
Right.
Take me a couple days. I'll read the book.
That's brilliant, and you'll get it better, more out of it too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So no, you know, I think. What advice do you have if somebody wants to become a real estate investor? What advice do you have for them?
Oh gosh, get out there and do it. Take that first step. Honestly, it's the biggest leap of faith. I have so many people that they come up to me like, I want you to mentor me. I want you to help me. I've heard of some of your success of your students and stuff like that. I want you to do the same thing. And so I'm like, great.
So it's close to home.
And then I'll give them some stuff to do, and then they'll go out and not do anything. And I'll see them at my next meetup. They'll show up, and I'm like, hey, what have you done? Oh, I haven't done anything yet. I'm still getting ready. I'm like, I don't have time for you if you're getting ready.
No, I get it. You know, it's so funny because we were at the Renatus. We had the Renatus regionals, and we had two people. I don't remember the character names, but you had one guy that goes up, and all his job was to do was just go and gather people up and bring people up on stage. The other one had the same job, but she just kept going. She goes, "What color should I get? What color markers should I use?" But it's the point is that people make things way more complicated than they need to be. They just need to go out there and do it.
Yeah.
Get their hands dirty. Screw up.
Fall on your face.
Yeah, fall on your face. It's like if you ever wanted to become a skateboarder, right? You're going to get some bumps and bruises. You're going to fall, but
that's right.
But you're never going to do that again, and you're going to get better.
That's exactly right. Well, I had one guy come to me. He's like, it's getting easier. I'm like, it's not getting easier. You're just getting better.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh. I'm like, the more you do it, the better you get.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm so hard on my clients.
Oh.
You know, I'm very hard on the client because my job is to help you grow. Because at the end of this thing, okay, at the end of our first year working together, if you tell me that, well, you didn't get anything out of it, that means that I did something wrong. Because, I mean, you're advertising on the radio. Or they're lying. They don't know their business. But I also tell people I'm not going to run their business for them. I mean, if their business model is broken, it's broken. I'm not going to be able to fix that. But the other piece, though, is that if I tell you you need to do this, this, and this, and you don't go out and do those things, and then you come back to me 6 months later and say, hey, I didn't get anything out of it, that's kind of on you, dude. Because you didn't do anything that I told you to do. And I have clients, and I just fire you. I just get rid of you as a client. Because
you don't need that. It drags you down.
It's gonna look bad on me if I've got all these really, really crappy clients, and I don't have any good ones, and no one's growing. It's going to look really bad. I'm making money, but it's going to look really bad.
Right.
And the point is that people are referring me because I'm educating people and I'm helping people and they're growing.
You know, I appreciate that. So last night I was speaking at a club up in Chico, and I had two people come up to me like, we want you to mentor us. And I'm like, I'm actually not in the business of mentoring anymore. I'm actually looking to build partnership relationships, not mentors. Because what I found over the years in just coaching people and mentoring them is they become stagnant after a while. There's no growth that continues. But at the partnership, they either move forward with the partnership as we grow together as a whole, or they get left behind.
I charge them $1,600 to sit down with me and talk to me for 2 hours.
That's brilliant.
If you don't want to pay the $1,600, then don't. My big goal for 2019 is to get coached from Grant Cardone.
Oh, right.
Grant Cardone charges $15,000 to sit down one-on-one with him. I am willing to pay the money. And
That's nothing, dude.
it's nothing.
Yeah.
But to sit down and talk with somebody, people spend millions upon millions to sit down with Warren Buffett. So if I am where I'm at today because of what I've done in my 20 plus years in my career, and you're not willing to spend the money to work with me, then you're really not willing to go out and actually do what I tell you to do anyway.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, that's the key point, and that's why when I partner with people, it's a hefty fee. And the reason for that is because that investment's not, it's money in my pocket, sure, but it's an investment in themselves.
Well, no, I'm investing in you. When I sell you a $500 marketing package,
Right.
like whoop-de-doo, it's like $500. It's like a day's work, right?
Right.
But a $500 marketing package for 6 months, and how much energy do you think I'm actually putting back into your business? We're sitting down, we're recording, I'm editing, I'm putting you on the radio, I'm doing your commercial, I'm doing all these different things. I'm investing back into you. I'm more banking that I do such a good job with you that you're going to renew and stay with me, which
Exactly.
is where I'm really going to make my money.
Totally.
Because it's not the $500, it's the $5,000 or the $50,000 that I want.
Exactly.
Right? So it's the investment back into you. And it's the same thing if somebody's wanting to work with you and they're not doing what's necessary, then
What's the point?
what's the point?
Yeah.
We're just wasting each other's time.
I mean, I recently just dropped $60,000 on a coach. And my wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, honey, this is a $60,000 bet against myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to triple that money.
Absolutely. Well, that's what
No
Tony
doubt.
Robbins, that's what Grant Cardone. I mean, these guys are $1 million coaches, and they guarantee a 3 times return their money if you do what you're supposed to do.
Exactly right.
All right, folks, how do people get in contact with you?
You know, the best way to get in contact with me is you can I answer my phone. You can call me. It's 530-755-7552.
One more time.
530-755-7552. Or just look me up on Facebook. I'm very active.
Ryan Nickel. Guys, check this guy out. I mean, he's just absolutely brilliant. I'm not saying that because he's paying me. No, seriously, he's really brilliant. He's really got his head on straight. Ryan Nickel, one more time your phone number.
530-755-7552.
All right, folks, we're going to go to a break. We're going to come back and learn more. We'll be right back.